Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Usually this is a couponing YouTube channel, which I haven't posted in a while, but I did a fun fact about me video on TikTok, and you guys want to know the story of how I had a heart attack while I was pregnant. You want the full story, so I figured I would do it for you guys. Now, I did do a little of it and started crying, and then I lost the footage, so I had to restart it. So I'm going to try not to cry, but if I do, I am so sorry. It is an emotional memory for me. But I'm going to tell you guys how I had a heart attack and what I went through while I was pregnant with my now 6-year-old baby girl. So let's get started, shall we? Okay, so it was May 22nd is when it happened, of 2014. I was 25 years old, and it was a crazy time then, guys. I had 4 boys. And I was pregnant with a little girl, and we already had everything picked out, ready to go. She was due in August, so it was a normal day. It was a normal day, normal time. You know, the only thing, like, days leading up to it, I remember, like, nothing really going on, just having pregnancy symptoms and stuff like that. So, you know, just normal pregnancy stuff. The day it happened, I decided I was going to clean the house, so that's what I started doing. My kids and husband was at home with me, and like within an hour of cleaning, I got a hot flash, which was not uncommon with my pregnancy because I got them all the time. So I sat down and I put a hot rag in my mouth, on my face, and ate some ice because that's usually what calmed me down. You know, like got my hot flashes to go away, and I noticed this one wasn't going away, and I told my husband, I was like, something just doesn't feel right. I'm like burning up. I'm having a hot flash, but it's not going away. And he's like, just go in the bedroom, shut the door, you know, get naked, take your clothes off, get a hot cold rag, and just sit there in front of the fan. You got too hot from cleaning. Go chill out a minute. I'll do it. And I'm like, okay, thank you. So, you know, I go in the bedroom and I sit there, and it was just a long ass hot flash. It would not go away. And then all of a sudden, it's like somebody had set me on fire. It felt like somebody had put me in the oven and was burning me. And I just started screaming. I started screaming bloody murder, saying, help me, please help me, please help me. And my husband come running in and was like, what's going on, what's going on? And I was like, please turn the cold shower on. I'm burning up. And I was pale, and my skin was real clammy. And he was like, something's not right. What is going on? And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like my skin's on fire. So please help me. Please help me. And I just remember screaming in so much pain because it hurt. I swear, that's what somebody being burned alive feels like. I was on fire. And he was like, no, we're not getting in the shower. Get your clothes on and let's get to the hospital now. Mind you, we live 30 minutes from the hospital because we was in the country. So I was like, no, I'm getting in the shower. I'm hot. I know a cold shower will calm me down. He's like, no, something's not right. Let's go now. So as soon as I put my clothes on, it made it worse. I started getting even hotter and hotter, and I was like, oh my God, I'm dying. Please help me. And he's like, get in the car, get in the car, get in the car. So we got in the car. Mind you, it was summer. We had the heat air on, and I had the window rolled down with my head stuck out the window, and like I was just rolling sweat. And I remember my kids in the car in the car seats crying, saying, Mommy, are you okay? Mommy, please, are you okay? And I just remember turning around saying, I love you all so much, and Mommy's going to be fine, but Mommy's in a lot of pain right now. But they just didn't understand because they were so little, and they was crying nonstop. So I was screaming, and so were they, because I probably scared the hell out of them because I was screaming so loud. And my husband just kept trying to calm me down, saying, it's okay, we're going to be fine, you know. So I get to the hospital, and I go in, and my husband tells them the symptoms. Mind you, I'm still screaming in pain, telling them I'm burning alive, somebody's burning me, I'm on fire, help me. And they automatically took me back to a room because I was hysterical, you know, I was screaming. And a doctor come in, and the doctor was like, it sounds like to me you might be having a heart attack. And me and my husband kind of just looked at him and was like, there's no damn way. I'm 25, for one. For two, I'm pregnant. Like, what the hell? So he was like, I don't know, it just kind of seems that way. He said, I'm just going to give you a nitroglycerin, which goes under your tongue. It kind of slows down a heart attack. And he said, we'll just see what that does. He said, we'll see what that does. So, sorry guys, my nose is running from crying on the first video. He's like, we'll see what it does. And I'm like, okay. So they give me the pill and all the symptoms stopped. And I felt fine. And I was like, okay, let's go home now. Like, no big deal. And they're like, no, you're not going anywhere. We've got to figure out what's going on. And the doctor was telling me and my husband, because we were both in a room together, and he said, it looks like to me she might be having a heart attack. Now, I don't know if it's a major one or a minor one. He said, but we need to get her to get dye run through her heart. He said, because she could have a heart attack and lose that baby. Mind you, they was not monitoring the baby at the time. That wasn't their priority at the time. They was not worried about the baby, even though I kept screaming, please take care of my baby, please check the baby. And he kept saying, not at the moment, we got to check on you first. But the whole time, apparently, they had somebody coming down ready to, put the heart thing on. But I guess he just didn't want me to get upset. I don't know. But he kept saying, not yet, that they would check on the baby in a minute. They needed to check on me. And then I started getting hysterical and crying and stuff. And the symptoms come back. And they checked my blood pressure, and it was like 200 over 150 something. It was bad. And he said, yeah, I think you're having a heart attack. He said, we're going to give you something to calm you down, and then we're going to take you back and get you dye run through your heart. They give me a shot of morphine, and it went blank. That's all I remember. I remember the nurse coming in saying, we're going to give you a shot of morphine because we already had IVs. And she said, we're going to give you a shot of morphine to relax you, and everything went blank after that. Everything went blank. Later on, I found out that I did die for 30 seconds. My heart stopped for 30 seconds, and thank God they brought me back. So when I woke up, I was on a table with these monitors everywhere, and apparently they had already started running the dye. If you don't know, they go through your groin area, and they go up into your heart and see what's going on. So that it seemed like it took forever. Okay, it seemed like it took forever laying on that table waiting. And at that time, they had a monitor on me for my baby girl and said that her heartbeat was perfect, and that's all I worried about was her. And they said that she was perfect, her heartbeat was perfect, told me not to stress and worry. But like in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, are they just saying that so I don't get upset? Is my baby really okay? Because she wasn't moving. Like, she was an active baby inside, and she was not moving. And then I thought, well, maybe it's just the medicine they gave me to relax me. It's kind of relaxed her too, I don't really know. So, I don't know, it took forever, like an hour, I say, and then they told me that they was going to let my husband come in and talk to me for a minute, and I'm like, okay, maybe he knows some answers, because nobody was telling me anything. He come in, and just the look on his face, I knew something wasn't right. And to be honest, I thought I had lost my daughter the way he looked. I was really scared at that time, and I just started crying and saying, I said, no, please tell me no. And he said, we didn't lose Anna. That's her name, by the way. He said, we didn't lose Anna. He said, she's okay. He said, but you're not. And I was like, what do you mean I'm not? I said, I feel fine. I'm ready to go home. And he said, you're not going home, baby. He said, you're going to Louisville Heart Center because you're having a heart attack. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, there's staff flighting you to Louisville because your main artery tore in your heart, and they don't know if you're going to make it. And I just started crying. I just held so tight and started crying and told him, please don't go. I don't want him to leave me. Because I kept thinking that I was going to die, and I didn't want to die by myself. I'm sorry, guys. It's so emotional thinking about this, but I just kept telling him I don't want to die by myself. Just leave. If I'm going to die, leave me here so I can be with him and my kids. And he said, no, baby, we're going to try to get you help. You're going to be fine, I promise. And I told him, I said, you promise. Because that's what we always told each other. Promise. And he said, I promise. Sorry, I'm emotional, Rick. It brings up all these memories. But he told me he promised that I was going to be okay. So I asked him how Anna was, and he said she was fine. He said they're going to let me see the boys, and I had all my family outside that I didn't even know. They were all waiting in the waiting room for me. to see me because he had called and told them off. So they let my kids come in, and that was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do as a mom, to try to keep it together for them, knowing that that might be the last time I ever see them. So it was a hard time. And then the rest of my family come in 2 at a time, and then they told me I had to go, that I needed to leave to go so I could get help. And I told my kids bye one more time. And I told Jason, which is my husband, bye one more time. And I got in the helicopter. And they wanted to keep me as calm as possible. And I'm scared of heights. I'm like hella scared of heights. So I kept telling them, please don't make me go in this. I don't want to. I don't want to. And they noticed that my blood pressure started to rise. So they gave me stuff to calm me down, which knocked me out pretty much. And when I got to Louisville, they let me call Jason to ask him where he was. And he said he was almost there. And I told the doctor that he'd be there because they didn't want to talk to me without him. They wanted him there the whole time to kind of keep me calm. So when he got there, they told both of us that if Anna does get born, that she could be brain dead from one, like oxygen, where I kind of blacked out and went away for 30 seconds, or the heart medication and stuff could make her where she might not be all there and stuff. So they told us that we might have made a decision to choose between me and her, like if it come down to it, we might have to choose between my life and my daughter's life. And that's the worst conversation you ever had to have, let me tell you, because you have these other babies at home that need you and need their mom, but you also have this precious thing in your belly that you don't want to get rid of. You don't want that to happen to. So it was a rough conversation. It really was. But thank God it didn't happen. So over the next day or two, they kind of worked me on medications and stuff because my heart had calmed down, which was really weird. They kept saying that my main artery had tore. And the way it had tore, I shouldn't be alive, okay? But the way they had worked up a combination of medicine to kind of keep me numb and calmed, that it was okay. So I just remember for like the next 2 or 3 weeks, the only thing I really remember is just like laying in the bed and watching TV all the time and eating here and there. Like, I don't remember conversations or anything like that because they had me so doped up. And you know, I remember the nurse come in like the week before they set me a C-section up because they needed to do a C-section and to get her out. And they said she's going to be premature, but we won't know how healthy or if everything's normal with her until she's born because of all the medications that they had me on. So they wasn't sure. But all I kept thinking was, I can't wait to see her little beautiful little face. I don't care. I don't care what happens. I just want to see my daughter. You know, for so long, I just wanted a little girl. And I finally got one. It was like, I fought through hell to have her. So I didn't want to get, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to lose her. So finally, I was in the hospital for about 2.5 weeks, and they sent me a C-section date, which was June 12th at 8 a.m. in the morning, and I kissed my husband goodbye because they was going to put me asleep, and that was a risk on its own to put me asleep. So I kissed my husband goodbye because they told me I wouldn't. As soon as I got out of the operating room from having a C-section, I went straight to have open heart surgery. So I knew I wouldn't get to see him for a while, or maybe ever. So I got to say goodbye to him and talk to my kids on the phone. And then I had open heart surgery. I had a C-section. She was born. And then I remember waking up in the operating room, which was fixing to be my open heart surgery because I had woke up from the anesthesia, which they needed me to. And I was laying on the table flat, right? And I just kept saying, is my little girl okay? Please tell me my little girl okay. And they said, she's great. She's fine. She's perfect. Your husband's with her. And when you wake up, we'll make sure that you get to see pictures. And I was like, thank you, thank you. That's all I kept thinking, was saying thank you. So they put me back to sleep. And then I remember waking up in like a vague room with it was like real white. And I thought, oh my God, I've done died. I've done died because it was like real white. But then my eyes started adjusting and I was in a room by myself with the nurse. Which I don't know if you guys have ever know anybody have open heart surgery. When you have open heart surgery, a nurse stays with you 24/7. They give you medicine, keep your vitals good and all that. So I don't remember much of it, but I do remember like maybe 5 or 6 days after I started waking up off the medicine, being in a lot of pain. I finally got to see Jason, which is my husband. I finally got to see him, and he told me that my baby girl was happy and healthy. She was premature, so she did have to stay in the NICU, but she was perfect. I got to see pictures of her. I couldn't see her or hold her because they didn't want me to get upset or cry or anything like that. So I didn't get to do any of that, but she was okay, and that's all that mattered, and I was okay. So she stayed in the NICU for about 2 more weeks. And she got to go home. I did get to say good. Jason did when she got out of the hospital. Jason brought her to me, and I did get a hug and kiss on her and tell her that I love her and that I'd be home soon. And then sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. And then after he left, because he got to take her home, I had to stay for another 2 weeks. So I didn't get to see my daughter for the first month and a half of her life. But I'm here now. And she's a healthy 6-year-old. So I got to go home after that, and it was a rough road, and I had a lot of recovery. But I'm here, and she's here. She's 6 years old now, and she is such a beautiful baby girl. She is so sweet and kind, and she's healthy and smart. And I'm great. I am doing great. They later found out that my heart attack was from Wagner's disease, which is the autoimmune disease that I got diagnosed with in 2016. Apparently I had it then and didn't know it. And that was one of the causes of it, was my heart attack. So I did get sick again in 2016 when she was 2 years old and missed another 4 months of her life because I was in the hospital. But I'm fine now. I do have to take medication for my heart and stuff like that. She doesn't have to do any of that. She is healthy, very healthy. You can't even tell that she was a NICU baby. You can't tell that she went through all the shit that she went through. I say every day that is my miracle baby. She is strong as hell because she fought to be in this world, and she is strong. So I don't mean to be a big crybaby. It just brings up a lot of memories. But she's happy and healthy. And about 2 months after she was born, Louisville Magazine did come and interview me because apparently it's uncommon for somebody that's pregnant to have a heart attack, let alone live from it. So we was in a magazine in Louisville, and plus they had a new OR where they did it all in. So we did get interviewed for that. Me and her are both in it. But yeah, we are now happy and healthy. I know I did get this question once on TikTok. Was it because of my drug use? No, it wasn't because of my drug use. I was a drug addict for a long time. But I was not on drugs at the time that it happened. So it wasn't because of my drug use. It was actually because of my Wagner's. I have autoimmune disease called Wagner's or GPA. I actually had it then, and they just didn't know. It was undiagnosed, and that was one of the causes. That was the thing that happened was my heart. Like I said, in 2016, I also got sick again, and my kidneys had failed from my Wagner's. But that's what was cause of it, not because of my drug use. But you never know. That could be a big part of what happened. But I am grateful that I am here. I am thankful that I'm here with my kids and my husband and my daughter. I'm so proud of what I've come through because not only have I beat addiction, but I've also beat open heart surgery. I've beat a lot of odds was against me and her, and we beat them. So I'm very proud of where I've come from. I'll never know why it happened. I say every day I was not a good person when I was younger, and I think that was my karma. I think that everything that I've went through is karma coming back to bite me in the ass from all the bad stuff that I did. Um, but now I try to do good and put good in this world. That way I can get good back later on in life. But I say that all the time in all my lives on TikTok and Facebook. The reason I got so sick and I had a heart attack was because of all the bullshit and the hell that I raised when I was younger. And it was karma bite me in the ass. So that is my story, guys, on how I had a heart attack while I was pregnant. I'm sorry that I cried pretty much the whole time. It's just an emotional story, but I'm so glad that you watched it. Please leave a comment and like and let me know that you watched it all the way through. Um, I'm glad that you listened to my story, and I hope that eventually it can help someone. Just know that not all heart attacks will make your arm go numb. There is other symptoms besides that, because I always thought that when you had a heart attack, your arm went numb, but not necessarily. There is other symptoms, guys. So please make sure that you take care of yourself and that you watch it. Like any weird symptom that you don't know, get to the emergency room as soon as you can, because you never know. Um, you never know. And I appreciate all you guys for watching. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, guys.